Hi everybody, this is Lindsay from Winding Road Crochet. Today I'm going to show you how to change colors and give you 2 rules that you can use to change colors with any stitch. If you like the tutorial, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I definitely feel like changing colors is a must-have skill after the basics. It allows you to do stripes, create beautiful plaid patterns, and create things like these crochet graphs. So here I have a sample piece, and I've actually worked double crochet, half double crochet, and single crochet in this sample piece. Now just for the sake of what we're doing, we're going to pretend we have a pattern that says we're going to work 10 single crochet in one color and then 10 in the other color. Now as beginners, the biggest trick here is knowing where to single crochet. Actually what we're going to do is we're going to work 10 single crochet in pink, because that's the first color we're working here, and then we'll just start using the blue and work the next color in blue. So we'll yarn over with blue for our 11th stitch, yarn over and pull through. But here's the problem. If you look at the top of our stitch, the top of our stitch is still pink, the bottom of our stitch is blue. The reason for this is because the loop you have on your hook after you work a stitch is actually going to be the top of your next stitch. So in order to have our number 11 stitch be completely blue, we need to change colors during our 10th stitch of this row. We only need to change it at the very last step of our stitch, which is going to be the very last yarn over. So rule number 1 is going to be change your color in the stitch before you want to start using that color. Then rule number 2 is going to be to change your stitch on the very last yarn over of your stitch. So here I'm working on making my single crochet. I pulled up a loop. Now I'm going to yarn over with the blue yarn. It is the last yarn over of a single crochet, and I'm going to pull that through my loops. Now you can see the entire stitch is pink, but that loop at the top is blue and will be the top of our next stitch. So work another single crochet, and you'll see how this complete single crochet in stitch 11 is now completely blue, and you can continue doing your pattern. Now let's go ahead and crochet to the end, and I'll just show you how to do this at the very end of a row. The end of the row, and again this is the last stitch before we change color, so we will change our color in the very last stitch of the row. Again, we're working single crochet, so I'm going to pull up that first loop, grab my new yarn, which is going to be the gold, pull that through our last 2 loops, just finishing off that stitch. So now when we work our chain 1 and turn, that chain 1 and the rest of the stitches on that row are going to be gold. If we had waited to change colors during the chain would be a little bit blue and would have came up a little bit and not made as clean of a line. So now real quick, I wanted to show you how this works for other basic stitches as well as more of the fancy stitches. So here I have a row of half double crochet. We're going to yarn over, and of course we're changing colors in the last stitch of the old color. We're going to pull up a loop, grab our new yarn, yarn over for the very last yarn over, and pull that yarn over through all the loops on the hook to create our half double crochet. Now when we make our next half double crochet, the entire half double crochet is blue. So now I've worked up a row of double crochet, and we're going to do the exact same tactic. Yarn over, work into the stitch before we want to see the new color start to appear, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, and this is because that is not our last yarn over. Now we are doing our last yarn over because this is a double crochet. Yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. Still, the entire stitch is yellow. You're going to need to pull the ends of your yarn a little bit tight. It tends to show a little more on the double crochet. And then when you work up your new double crochet, the next stitch is completely blue. Now let's do the bobble stitch. So I'm going to work through this a little bit fast, but if you want to learn how to do a bobble stitch, I'll link up to a tutorial up below and in the description box. Normally I would change colors during the single crochets that are around the bobble stitch, but since that may not be an option like in a pattern that I have coming up soon. This is how you would do it if you're changing colors during the bobble stitch. So you've worked your bobble stitch, you're back to your very last yarn over. You yarn over with your new color, pull through all the loops on the hook, and then it's always important to make a single crochet after you make a bobble stitch. So then I would single crochet, and that entire single crochet would be made in blue. And then I can continue on with blue bobble stitches. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my next video.